actually get placed. So we have a good enough network wherein the students have placed above more than 13,000, right? And we are into multiple domains and providing the different segments of the training. I'll tell you later on. And we have a strong alumni network wherein people who got trained and are connected with us are working in a top-notch companies throughout the globe. Okay, and we have above 98% of the happy clients or the students who got trained. So when we say training, that doesn't mean that you're only getting the syntax wise training or you're just having the conceptual training. No, whatever concept that you're learning, you are right away applying that so that that can be retained in your head. And this is what which is very much required. If you are not able to retain the things in your mind and you're just understanding the concept, skipping through the ppts, it's very incomplete. So this is what we do as ACODS. We try to embed that specific concept in your mind by making you implement the things, no matter how tedious is the concept, but you will be implementing one example related to that specific concept. Until unless you do that, we generally don't move forward. So this is how we try to embed the knowledge inside any of the head of our clients. So it's just like that. Right now, so along with the ACODS, we have one IT consulting firm that is Metaphizer, and it's a UAE-based organization wherein we are providing these services. See, I just mentioned you that we have a strong network of the different experts, technical experts in specific areas. It's not like we are providing the services in each and every domain. No, we have the experts in multiple specific domains like data engineering, machine learning, artificial intelligence, then data analysis, cybersecurity, DevOps. So we are providing the services to the different segment of the industry, be it healthcare or oil and gas. We are providing the different solutions and helping the organization in their cloud migration, in adoption of the AI, and understanding the concept of data engineering and try to build the end-to-end pipeline using the DevOps concept and the data engineering concepts. Okay, so this is where in ACODS, we are providing the training, and that is the Metaphizer, wherein we are providing the consulting, and all together, it's like our students who got a good enough training and the skill set in the field of data science, data engineering, and which artificial intelligence, they get absorbed within the Metaphizer itself. Sometimes they get this option, or they get absorbed with the companies who are linked with Metaphizer, and they require the data scientist or the data analyst or DevOps engineer or machine learning engineer. So they hire through us. So this is something, a kind of a service wherein we are completing a 360-degree solution, wherein you're not only getting training, but you're getting placed with the help of one specific intermediator. That's a recruitment consulting as well. That is your Metaphizer. So we have the tie-up with the companies wherein they post the requirement to us, and we first map it and try to engage our clients with them. If like they are not like their job is not getting mapping, then we take the clients from the different third parties. So it is like that. Okay, now, so our organized training organization is certified by CPD UK. So wherein like whatever training that we are providing is all the training curriculum and their assessments is all being certified by the CPD UK body. And this is a glimpse of few of the companies apart from those 300 companies where our alumni are working and wherein our clients get direct referrals with. Okay, so when I say referral, you also know it. It's very difficult when you apply for the job on any of the portal. It becomes very difficult for you to get shortlisted. Even if you're applying through LinkedIn or you're applying through any of the job portal, it's very difficult to get shortlisted. So what we can do, we cannot assure anyone to get the job, right? We can't make any employer to say, please hire this person. Not at all. You can't do that, right? But what are the support that we can get to our clients? It's like we can at least make them sit in front of the interviewer. So for example, if the, let's say Talabat is requiring the data scientist. So what we can make is, if you are 5 to 6 year experience, and if you have done little bit of projects, so we can make you sit and make you shortlisted. That is what the major important part which we play. And after that, it's like you are on your own. We can provide you only the resources, like what kind of questions will be there, what kind of task will be there that they will be asking you. But still, you have to make them convinced that yes, this is the right position and the right person who is being interviewed for this particular job position. So it's like that. Okay, so this is what we are having with us, and that's what kind of a support we provide to our students. Now, these are few of the alumni who have got benefited through Edifico and ACODS, wherein they are right now working in different part of the world. It's not like only in Middle East or only in India. They are in a different part of the world they are working on. Okay, and this is again another slide to demonstrate you the kind of feedback that we got for our different sort of trainings. Okay, now the very important part. So we as a training organization, we are linked with, I'm telling you, more than 20 advisors. So we have altogether, cumulatively, if you see, we have more than 200 years of experience in the field of data engineering, data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. And our curriculum is being designed by these experts who have already worked upon a lot of use cases, a lot of problem statements, and they know what is the current requirement of the industry. And along with that, they know what kind of problem statement is being asked, because these people are taking interviews every day, right? So what benefit you get? The module you are working on, after every module you are getting the set of the questions, that these are the questions that is being asked in the interviews. So you are almost 80% prepared for any specific questions, either technical, non-technical, or conceptual. For example, if someone who is 10-year experience, so people are not going to ask them to code, but they will be asking them the conceptual question, the managerial question, behavioral question related to these problem statements. So how to answer? So for that matter, these advisors help you out. So what we generally arrange, we arrange the expert session with these advisors along with the different programs or different modules that you're covering, and this is very much helpful. Okay, now, so these are few. I've just noted down 6 of them. Otherwise, the PPT will be very long. So I will be not only going through the PPT, I'll be taking you through one of the module wherein I will show you forecasting of one of the application in the data science. Okay, so that will be in the middle of the program. So these are our advisory members. Now, so what is the range of agenda for the today? So that was about us, what we are doing, and this is like what I'm going to tell you out of my experience, plus whatever like questions that you might be having in your mind about the data science. You can keep on posting it on the chat so that I will be in a position to answer it later on in the session. Okay. And now, before that, let's have a little bit of interaction. Can you guys just let me know on the chat what are the experience you have? For example, you are from IT or non-IT, and what is the working experience you have with you? And if somebody who is fresher, just write fresh, I'm fresher. Just quickly on the chat, please. Okay, Mr. Hafiz, you're from power sector. Usman, electrical engineering. Okay. Nias Ahmed, you're fresher. Avinash, you're also fresher. That's great. Amar, you're mechanical engineer. Okay. So see, I can see the electrical engineer. I can see the freshers. Okay, and I can see the mechanical engineer. So generally, I'm just telling you the normal thought, because I was also electrical engineer, and I did passed out that way back in 2007, and yeah, this is what. Okay, Michael. Okay, from IT background, accounts background. Yeah, that's now we are. Yes, this is what I was looking for, Nias. So you're a fresher, but in the accounts background. Yes, very good. So this is great. We have the audience from the different verticals of the industry and the different departments in the within the industry, right? So you will be able to understand how this data science is useful for I would say any working professional. This is something which is very much in demand, or that's a requirement of any particular job description these days. If you go for any job description, no matter if somebody is hiring for accountancy, right, or you can say financial advisor, it's always written in the job description that it is very much good or advantage if you have a knowledge of data analysis. Means you should know how to leverage with the BI tools which are available. Okay. And it will be very good if you know how to write the little scripts, because everyone have a kind of ideas in their head. Ideas means how they can utilize the AI concept, but they don't have the expertise to implement that into real time. And that, for that matter, if you, let's say for example, if you are having 5-year experience in HR or in accounts or in finance, then you are a little bit of subject matter expert. Okay. And if you add in you little bit of data analysis concepts, then you can become a kind of a, the fourth point, kind of a data science enabled working professional. Means, what does that mean? That means you know how to utilize the concept of data science in your working environment. No matter I'm from HR itself, you might have heard about the HR analytics. For example, if you are from power sector, in power sector, the forecasting, the predictions, the predictive maintenance, these are few heavy terms. But do we know how we can get those things done? Do we know how we can implement those stuff so that we are ready prior to any particular thing which is happening? For example, predictive maintenance, it will help us out in terms of reducing the downtime. If we know that this machine is going to be faulty in another 15 days, we can actually prepare ourselves for its maintenance so that the downtime will get reduced by 24 hours. So if the downtime was 48 hours, now it is only 24 hours. So this is how we are utilizing the concept of simple machine learning method, but it's like solving a very big business problem. Okay. So this is what I'll show you the name of the industries who are utilizing, and you will see like it's almost everywhere. In fact, in the healthcare also, right? In these days, what we are doing the patient health monitoring, right? We are predicting their disease. In fact, we are going to have some AI agents which are going to tell, by asking few questions and analyzing the vitals of the patient, it is going to suggest them few of the medicines. So the use of this AI agents is something which is being acquired by almost each and every industry. So that's again a very important part, right? So this is the outline I'll be going through, how the data science is evolving the organization, and what is the demand in the current requirement, and what you should learn, no matter like from where you're learning. That doesn't make much of a difference, but how you are learning, because learning doesn't mean only the syntax knowledge and the software, but how you are applying those concepts is very, very important. So for that matter, I'll tell you what are the things that you should keep in mind so that you can actually make yourself as a data science enabled working professional. This is what which is required right now. See this. Now for an instance, current trends of the data science. Let me show you. Yeah, it's there on your screen now. So this is, for an instance, if you see this, global AI adoption. What does that mean? AI adoption means like how many organizations have said yes and they have initiated. Yes, okay, this can be one of the project. For example, suggestion systems. All the banks right now, they are actually trying to build the portfolio suggestions or portfolio recommendation system for their different wealthy clients. So almost like I would say 60% organization are still in a stage of whether we should go for it or we should not go for it, but 40% of the industry, they have started utilizing the AI. So that means the scope of the AI is still very huge, because here for 60% are still left. They don't have any product which is having up in place the AI concepts, but they are trying. Why? I'll show you in the next slide. So this is, let that slide. Yeah. So this one. So when you see this, have they started? Means have they taken the initiative? Yes. 91% of the organization have engaged themselves in terms of their digital initiatives. Means now they want to become the complete digital. They want to transform their work after the COVID. It's like very much hot. They want their work to be completely digitalized, and all the AI algorithm and the concept should be embedded in their work. So this is 91%. And I'm telling you, you might be seeing 4 or 5 AI based projects, right? The AI, artificial intelligence based projects, and a lot of web portals you are able to see these days that which are doing few of the tasks. Okay. But this is only, you can say, tip of the ocean. There are thousands of the projects which each and every company, if you accumulate, they are trying it every day. And there are more than 2000s of the projects which are going like completely in the failed stages. Why? Because they might not be getting the same trained data, or they might not be getting the desired results, and due to that, that project is failed. So we have more than thousands of the projects failed, and out of that we have only few hundreds of the projects which are successful and they are up and running. So that means 91% of the organization have engaged themselves in the AI adoptions. In the work, they have hired a team, and they have given us some set of data of theirs, and they are trying to come up with some innovative ideas. So the team which are working on this AI adoption, that directly linked with the stakeholders. So just imagine, you might take 10 years of time to just reach to your stakeholder. At least you are one on one having a discussion with him or her. But the team which is working directly with the data, no matter they are freshers, but they are directly linked with the stakeholder of the company, and they are giving report to them directly. So this is the power of the data and the people who know how to play with that data. Okay, so you don't have to follow a lot of years of experience to reach to that position. You will be directly linked with that particular person who is a decision maker. Okay, so that's where this data science concept again becomes a very important role, play a very important role here. Okay, now, so what are the different technologies which are actually driving this AI adoption and digital transformation? I would say the first one is data science, wherein you're able to understand. I'll explain you in the next slide what is this data science, and why, how you can actually get a good enough knowledge out of this. But we have a lot of technologies I've written over here: data science, artificial intelligence, big data with data engineering. See, people, the companies who are working from last 50 to 20 years, they have a lot of billions of the rows of the data they have in their either servers or custom data servers, standalone data servers, or cloud servers. So now they need the workforce who can actually try to figure out something good, insightful information from that specific data, right? So they need the people who can actually convert that unstructured data to the structured form, so that it can be put it into any of the BI tool for the different specific visuals. That is a work of the business intelligence tools. Then we have Internet of Things. Like nowadays, each and every big processes, no matter it's oil and gas industry or a manufacturing industry or a healthcare industry, they are utilizing the power of the internet by connecting a lot of resources through a lot of physical devices to the internet, and then collecting the data after every milliseconds, and then you're able to receive something. For example, a simple live example is the weather forecasting. How you're getting the weather forecasting? The weather forecasting basically is like, we are collecting the sensor data in a cloud server for every millisecond, and then we are running a trained model on that. The trained model is basically a machine learning model which is being trained on a last 10 to 15 years of data, right? And then now the model is so much trained that it is able to give the almost 100% good forecasting. For example, in Dubai, if you see that at 12:40 till 1:10 you are going to have a sandstorm. So nowadays we have exactly that time where you get the sandstorm. Was this the condition before 2015? Not at all, because at that time the accuracy was only 75%. So we're saying that we are going to have the sandstorm today, we are going to have it after 2 days of time, because at that time the model was not that good enough trained. And that's the evolution of the technologies and the algorithms. Because of that, we are able to see the 100% results on the data, right? Then one other important stuff is the cybersecurity. Here, when we say data, that means you need to have some of the specific methods with the help of which you can make your data secure. So for that matter, we have a cyber security in place. So if you understand these concepts, it becomes so easy for anyone to give you or to assign you a task, because they know that you will be keeping all these things in mind while implementing any specific use case or the model and the cloud computing. So we should know, if we are developing something in our local system, so how it can be deployed on the cloud server so that masses can be uh, utilizing that specific operation or the process or the model that you have created. So these are the few technologies which are highly in demand right now. Okay, so we, and one more thing I would like to mention it over here, you are not supposed to be directly from the IT industry. If I am a, you can say, maintenance engineer from last 5 years in one of the electrical power plant, still I'll be able to understand the artificial intelligence and the data science concept by utilizing the business intelligence tools, and can make my work little bit more advanced. Okay, so why these data science and artificial intelligence concept are highly in demand? Because they can cut down your work time. For example, the work that you're doing right now in 4 to 5 hours, that can be reduced down to only 1 hour by saving your 3 hours every day, by making your work little more easier with the help of the artificial intelligence concepts. So this is what the companies are requiring, the employers are requiring, that you should have the knowledge of these concepts, so that you will be knowing how efficiently you're utilizing it. Okay, but you must be wondering what it is. Let's see. Let me show you. So this, I'm not saying this, but this is Glassdoor is saying this, Google is saying this, that every 5 days this figure is getting changed. Lot of job openings are there. You by yourself just put data scientist jobs in GCC, you will find thousands of jobs available. But are we able to apply this? Or if we get shortlisted, are we able to retain our job? This is a major challenge. Can you see a third point here? The third point, it is also analyzed that the data science openings are open for more than 45 days. Why? Because the people who are applying for it, they seems to be very ninja on LinkedIn profile, they seems to be very ninja on their CV, but somebody asks, or any employer asks them to work for on something, they don't know how to do it. And that was the reason why these projects I mentioned, 2000 projects got failed, and only hundreds of the projects get success. Why? Because of this reason. People have the certificates with them, people have a good enough knowledge, syntax knowledge they have, but what they lack the implementation experience. If you stuck up with some problem with the tedious data, they don't know how to modify it. They are very bad in the feature engineering. They don't understand the data, they only understand the modeling. So there are so many reasons with the help of which these open positions remains open only. After every 3 months they get open. Why? Because they fire the people who just got placed and they were asked to do something. I have a lot of examples wherein people have been given some post and they're not able to retain their post, and then they are doing the course. And they're what they're doing, they have already done the course, but what they're done what they're doing with us, they're doing the project implementation experience with us. They've been assigned with some work, now they're taking our assistance in terms of getting that particular problem solved, and having the experience that whenever any problem comes up, so how to come out of that, that is known as implementation experience. So I always say, your age doesn't define your experience, your problem solving skills define the experience. And this is what you need to grasp in you. The more you solve the problems, first more you face the problems, then you come out of the problem, get your problem debugged. That is the only way of learning. So the more you solve the problems, the more you face the challenges, more compensation plus your remuneration will be there along with the different job profiles, or your what do you say, the promotions, because that is what it makes you a new age working professional. And that's why I was saying a fresher might be on top of you because he know those technologies, those skill sets which you don't know it, no matter you have 15 years of experience in that specific domain. And that's why it's very much required for any working professional who are above 10 years of experience. because what they do is they have the 10 year of experience in any domain, no matter maintenance, HR, operations, accounting, any domain you talk about, sales and marketing. But you need to understand these concepts which the fresher knows but you don't know it. If you club it with you, then you can become a very good, you can say, asset for the organization, because you have enabled yourself for the digital transformation technologies, right? So that is very, very important. And not only syntaxes, few projects also need to do. So job search is too high for the data scientist, data analyst. Job is too much high, but are we able to apply for it? That's a very big problem. And I'm telling you, we have worked with a lot of clients in GCC countries. They have a pain area. They have a requirement, but they don't have the workforce to hire. That's a big time challenge with them. Now, okay, so now let's talk about the data science. So data is the new oil, everyone knows about it. And data science is the technology which is extracting the good enough oil from it. Okay, I'll good enough information from it. I'll tell you how. See this. So when we talk about the data science, so it's the study of extracting something meaningful from the any of the business data. Like each and every company. I'm not talking about the social media, because when we talk about the data, so what comes in our mind is the social media, right? But each and every company, they are documenting their work every day, whatever they are doing, their employee are doing. You have the either CRM or a ERP or a Excel file, like you are filling it, right? So now that also becomes the data. And now if the business owner wants to extract some information out of it, for example, Mr. X efficiency, he wants to know how you can get that. So for that matter also, you can utilize the concept of the data science, and you can bring out some of the information from that small data as well. Okay, so now this particular concept is not only extracting the information, but there are so many steps which are involved. So no matter you know the programming or not, we have a lot of tools which can actually sum up these 7 steps. If you understand these steps, you can say, yes, you understand the data science life cycle. First, understanding the problem statement. If you are from accounting, like accounting people, they always deal with the data, right? So now, for example, if I want to extract the fraudulent data transaction, so I can easily do that using this particular concept. If I'm from operations, okay, so I would like to just understand what kind of operation each and every departments are actually playing from last 5 years, so I can do that easily. If I'm from sales and marketing, so sales and marketing is still utilizing. So why I'm telling you these thing is, the business understanding means the department understanding, the problem statement understanding. If any particular client is having a specific requirement, so you need to first understand their requirement. So for that matter, we need to ask a lot of relevant questions to them. Okay, so before directly jumping onto the data visualization and data cleaning, but we need to first understand what is the actual requirement from which data. Okay, and then the data mining means we will be asking a lot of questions to them, and then after that we will be gathering all the data from them, either the credentials of the servers or the different Excel files, and then we are trying to mine those data, means selecting which particular attribute is important, which particular. So here little bit of statistical analysis would be required. So that doesn't mean that you should have a proper knowledge of how that equation or the function have been derived. Not at all. You just need to know for what matter max is used, average is used, standard deviation is used, correlation is used. If you have that knowledge, you have all the libraries, all the functions available in BI tools. You can simply just click and then go ahead. Then you have data cleaning, right? Data cleaning means if you have highly correlated data, you just remove it. I'm not going to use the heavy technical terms here, but data cleaning means keep only the useful attributes and remove the irrelevant attribute out of the data that you have been provided by the client. As simple as that. Okay, and after that, data exploration. So if you have all the following important attributes, now you're starting exploring it. Exploring means now you're trying to, for example, any problem statement. For example, I would just want to know the health of the employees who are working in the BPO industry. Okay, so now we have already asked a lot of questions, we got the data, now we got the survey with us. I would like to explore that survey. So for that, we have a lot of regression techniques, correlation techniques, hypothesis techniques, which is going to be applied over here. And then feature engineering part. So here till the 5th point, it is something you are playing with the data. So 1 to 5, it generally comes on the data engineering part as well. So data science is the amalgamation of a lot of technologies, right? Wherein the analysis and the engineering all comes together. And to do these things, you're not supposed to be very good in mathematics, because we have a lot of tools like Power BI, Tableau, Google Data Studio, right? Data IQ, which makes your life so easier. You just need to understand how we can utilize them. That's very, very important. Okay. And after the feature engineering, it is going to be the predictive modeling. Means now you will tell, okay, are you looking for a predictions? Are you looking for a forecasting? So these are few methods by applying the machine learning models you can come up with. Okay. And then at last, create a nice dashboard for the stakeholder who can actually just click on one button on their mobile phone and see everything. Not what you have done at the back end, but only the very nice visuals of 4 different charts that you have extracted from 1 to 6 steps. So if you, as any fresher or experienced person, understand these 7 steps, you can say, yes, you have understanding of the data science concept. Okay. But along with this, you have to demonstrate the, for example, at least 4 or 5 project implementation experience. If you have that, yes, then you are good to go. If you only have a conceptual knowledge, then it will be very difficult for you to apply these concepts on any real business problem. That's a very much challenge. Okay. Now, you guys keep on posting the questions. Like if anything comes in your mind, I'll be answering them later on. For example, one of the anonymous attendee have just asked me the question. See, I just mentioned you that part. If you already have the data science knowledge with you, you have already done the certification, but people come to us just to have the project experience with them. See, personally, I just mentioned it that we have done more than thousands of machine learning and AI projects. So what generally I do, I try to make them work on different uh, modules of those specific use cases, and those use cases would be that much difficult that you will be scratching your head in coming up the solution. And when you scratch your head and try to debug and try to come up with a solution, that's the only learning, my friend. That's the only learning, because you can't learn anything by just reading the PPT or reading the books until unless you put and get your hand dirty and try to implement everything by yourself. Okay, that's a real learning. So we generally give the project experience. So we are not going to teach you the module, make you learn the module. We directly can make you understand the uh, with the help of the different project experience. Okay, so that's a question I just answered. Right. One more question, that data science is different from data specialist. This is something which is everyone's problem. Like, what is this data analysis? What is this data science? What is this data specialist? Now, every job profile is having a data as a prefix or suffix, right? So that's a confusion. When I say data specialist, when I say data analyst, when I say data science professional, see, this is only almost the same thing. Okay. In another slide, I'll tell you what is the part which is being data analysis, and then come up to this data science. And when I say specialist, so that means you have a little bit of experience, or let's say 2 to 3 years of experience in dealing with these data science concepts. So it's almost same thing. It's only your journey right from your starting of your data science career as one of the job, and then moving ahead with like 1 or 2 year or 3 year of experience. It's like that. Okay. Now, so where is this data science applied? So that's another very important question here, right? Now just see by yourself. You can see it in my slide. Banking and finance, manufacturing, retail and e-commerce, oil and gas industry, healthcare, HR management, logistics and supply chain, sales and marketing. Did I miss anything? Of course, I might have missed so many other domains also where they are utilizing it, like social media, digital marketing. They are utilizing it over here, but I didn't mention it. So it's everywhere. So if you are working in any of the company which is dealing with the manufacturing, they are utilizing it. If you can showcase them 2 or 3 use cases, then they might give you that team and they can give you real work wherein you will be responsible for that specific project. If I talk about retail and e-commerce, they are utilizing to engage their customers, to bring their customer back to their portal. They are utilizing the AI ML concepts, right? In healthcare, you see, in HR also, you see HR analytics, you see logistics and supply chain, wherein the demand of the product and supply of the product is being mapped with the help of the different ML models, right? And in the warehousing, nowadays we have a very intelligent warehousing. Okay, and you might not know it, we have one specific company that is gray orange. They are providing a fully automated warehouses wherein the robots are working. They have the QR code, they scan the QR code, and it's a completely fully autonomous data warehouse. This logistic warehouses we have. Sales and marketing is one domain wherein you try to grab the territory, wherein you have one product, you are actually doing the marketing strategic analysis of that product in different segment of the country, plus then different territories, and then try to pitch your sales so that you can have multiple different more revenue out of your specific team. So it's like every industry is trying to utilize. That's why the data science is everywhere, but we don't know it because we are very busy in our everyday task. And since 2015, you see the graph is too steep here, like it's exponentially increasing the utilization of these data science concept. And that's why just after the COVID, the bombarding of the jobs related to the data is too much. And that's the reason why the data science is everywhere. And that's the very buzzword here. But there is a reason behind the buzz, because each and every company are utilizing these concepts. So they want the working professional. In fact, if you are a 15-year of experience in this accounting and manufacturing, or let's say oil and gas, they still be seeking, do you have this skill set of data analysis tools like Power BI and Tableau? If yes, it's an added advantage, right? So that's what the urgency is. Okay, now, so this, I've already talked about this thing. Now I'll just show you a few of the use cases. These are few of the use cases wherein they're live, means they are actually live in successful projects. For example, Edmunds, one of the car shopping experience portal, wherein they increased their revenue by 211 percentage by having the AI based marketing offers as per their different customers. You understand customer experience, you understand customer segmentations. On the basis of that, what they have done is they have run an unsupervised learning algorithm on their customer data, and they have created a different marketing offers, okay, to their different segments of the customers. And due to that, they have seen or realized 211% of the revenue spike in the revenue. ABN AMRO is one of the third largest bank in the Netherlands. They have generated, you can say, the wealth of the data with hundreds of terabytes across hundreds of disparate data sources. Okay, so they are completely digitally transformed. Means now they have a digital banking. In fact, in the GCC also, we have almost all the banks are almost digitals now, right? Standard Chartered Bank is working with the data IQ by building one of the solution that is portfolio recommendations for their wealthy clients. Okay, so as per their profile, as per their segments, they'll be recommending what kind of savings, what kind of you can say options they can opt to have more earnings from their savings. DHL is one of the company that uh, they have created this stock management and supply chain, right? So they are also seeing the 25% increment in the growth. So these are few of the examples wherein you have seen that by adopting the AI concepts, they have seen the increase in their revenue, in their growth. HSBC Bank, I think a few of you might have the account in the HSBC. I also have it. So generally, whenever I do some transaction, a kind of a transaction which is apart from what you are doing regularly, we do receive a call right away from them. What is that? This is they have a AI enabled anti money laundering solution and fraudulent transactions alert. So if you're doing some transaction which you were not doing earlier, but due to some reason you're just sending money to someone or you're receiving money from someone, they do call you right away. That's the reason. Okay, so everyone, they are actually having the AI analytics, AI enabled systems, okay, recommendation systems. So what are these? These are few of the applications which can be applied on the business problems utilizing the AI ML concept. It is that easy. Okay, but we don't know it. That's the only problem. Otherwise, it is not a kind of a rocket science nowadays. If I talk about 2010, yes, it was a rocket science because we were not having any library, any tools like that which we have now. But nowadays, it's very easy to implement. It's only like we have not worked upon it. That's it. Now, see this. And I'm telling you again and again that it is easy, easy, easy. I'll show you one of the examples that you will see it by yourself. That how easily I did the forecasting. I want to see you so that you can also understand why this man, the bald man, is saying easy, easy again and again. You will see it by yourself. Okay. So let's see. After this slide, I'll show you the example so that it will be very much clear to your head. So learn by doing. This is one funda that we follow. There is no point anyone can open up your head and then pour everything inside it. Not at all. You have to do it by yourself. We can only assist. We can only debug your problems. So how we do it, in each and every sessions, we will be making you understand one concept. You will be implementing that concept, or rather we will implement that concept in front of you with one example. Then we will make you implement that concept and we'll give you one task related to that. Simple. And then when you implement that task, we will leave you all alone. You implement it. Then when you come across a problem, I will solve a problem in front of you. And that's where you will understand, okay, I was making a mistake at this point, and this person have debugged it like that. So next time you will not utter that problem again. So that's the only very simple way of learning. Keep it very simple. Try to keep on having the debugging and every day come up with a new problem and get that problem debugged. Simple. Okay. So that's what the learn by doing. So data science is also not very different from that. The data science concept also you can learn by doing it. Okay. Now in coming slides, I will be answering the questions which generally almost all the clients are having before enrolling in the course, before thinking of this thing, whether we'll be able to do that or not. I have a lot of questions noted already and I'll be answering one by one to them. So it will be very helpful for you. Okay. See this. First question. Do I need to be a math expert to get into data science? It will be very difficult if you want to be a math expert. I have not seen the math book since my childhood. I hate maths. I mean, I'm not talking about me, but I'm talking about the in general, right? So you don't have to be a math expert for it. Why? I just did mention to you when I was explaining you the correlation, something like that. You, for example, what is variance? What is standard deviation? For what matter we use it? You need to understand those concepts. Okay. So, for example, if any data set comes in your way, then you will be applying the variance and covariance in it. So, you already have a function in place. You're not supposed to derive that function. You're not supposed to derive any equation of the maths. You only need to have a basic understanding of these concepts. So all the mathematical concepts which are getting used in complex to complex AI algorithm, you have all those algorithms up in place operational as one of the function. So we are not supposed to derive it by ourselves. That's why we are not supposed to be a math expert. I'm telling you, I have few examples wherein people from completely non-IT background, they have transformed themselves into the data science field. So you're not supposed to be a math expert. So you just remove that specific questions from your mind. If somebody is saying you that thing, it's not, he or she is not guiding you well for that. Okay. Now, it's in this lecture. That's again a very important question because I have a bunch of my clients, they hate programming simply. They literally hate programming. The syntax, it's like very alien words for us, right? So do I need to be expert in the programming? Not at all. Why? I think you must be having the knowledge of the business intelligence tools. I've been using the name since the beginning of my session, or in your workplaces also you might be having those installed in your system. That is Power BI, Tableau, Google Data Studio. Then we have Databricks, Snowflakes. See, these are the technologies which are trying to make your particular work as a data professional or data specialist. You need to have very little coding. Sometime like you might be heard about those particular thing like no code platforms. What are those? These are business intelligence tools which are making you not writing a single line of a code. whatever which is coming in your mind, you just need to have that one of the option in these BI tools. So that's why the conceptual knowledge is very much required. Understanding of the business problem is required. So if you are 20 year of experience, nobody is going to ask you to write the code right away, but you should know that okay, this work can be done using this algorithm and this should be the architecture. So your way of learning should be in terms of understanding the business problem, what kind of solution can be best fitted for that specific problem statement, and you can come up with the solution, and what kind of time frame or time bounded work has to be there so that you can easily delegate that work to your team. So that's very much required. So if you're learning, so learn in such a way that you will be able to connect any business problem with these concepts and come up with a solution. No matter you're writing the code for the solution or not, you can use the Power BI and Tableau to come up with that solution. No problem. Okay, so that acumen, business acumen is very much required. Okay, so you don't need to be expert. And of course, it's always an added advantage if you have a little bit of scripting understanding to scripting knowledge, because sometimes these BI tools have little limitations. What limitation? For example, client is asking for some kind of a peculiar graph and visuals which you're not able to achieve using the BI tool, using the by default feature of the BI tool. Then you have to integrate your script like Python script or R script with your BI tools and create and write a simple script to actually come up with that same requirement or the solution of that requirement. So it's always an added advantage, but it's not required. Okay, mandatory is not a word, but yes, of course, it's an added advantage always. Now, so if I'm from non-IT background, so can't I be in the data field? Not at all. It's not like that. Nowadays, I'm telling you, people are getting transformed as a data science professional being in a non-IT profile. For example, HR professionals, for example, accounting professionals, the operation professionals, back office work professionals, because this data entry job, the work which the people who are like working as a data admin, working as a MIS report handler, those people doesn't are not from IT, right? They're from non-IT. But if they understand the data analysis, if they understand these tools, so they can easily get themselves transformed in a MIS analyst profile or data analyst profile, wherein their core work is to actually come up with a lot of different templates as per the requirement for the MIS of the organization. Because we as a working professional need to fill the MIS every day, because that is what, no matter you're working 12 hours in a day, until unless you fill your MIS, the stakeholder doesn't know that you were present. So that's some mandatory stuff, right? So designing the MIS reports, creating the dashboards is something which you can get easily as a data analyst profile, wherein you have the data with you, you are transforming that data, then loading that data in BI tool and come up with a nice dashboard. This is what the work of the data analyst. Then you want to go ahead with it. That means now you have a little bit of understanding, conceptual understanding of machine learning algorithm. You understood that and try to apply it on that data. You move ahead towards the data science. It is like that. So I'm just trying to make you understand in as simple as possible language, so that you can understand what's the difference between a data analyst and a data science professional. It's a journey, right? So when you learn till the data visualization and MIS reporting and dashboarding, you have done the data analysis part. When you want to move ahead, that means there are few things like few applications, forecasting, recommendations, classifications, predictions, segmentations, recommendations. When you do that, then you have added yourself or equip yourself with a lot of different technologies which are highly in demand. So you become a data science professional. Okay, and when you in this journey, when you spend 2 to 3 years, you become data specialist. Okay, so it is like that. Now, this laptop, sorry. So if I want to get into this, what I should learn, how I should learn. So first is you should have a domain knowledge. Okay, when I say domain knowledge, if you are from any department, if you're professional, for example, you're from finance, you're from accounting, you're from banking, you're from maintenance, so you should have a domain knowledge which you already have it, right? Then understanding your data and different domains data, then knowledge of the analytical tools which I just mentioned, Power BI, Tableau, something like that. Then the different applications of data science, which we have in the next slide, means recommendations, suggestions, which I just told you, and concept project experience. See, you're not working in the data science field right now, so you don't have a live projects with you. You don't have a real project with the company is requiring, but we do have those projects which is already up in place, up and running. You can implement those use cases, because use case implementation is equivalent to that company project, right? So that build your portfolio, and that's why the strong portfolio is something which can get shortlisted. Not you or your LinkedIn profile will get you shortlisted, but the projects which are mentioned in those particular profiles and you really have the knowledge of those can get you shortlisted for that purpose. Okay, so that's why these are the 6 steps. If you know that, nobody can stop you to become a data science professional, no matter what certificate you have or not, you don't have it. But if you can demonstrate that skill set, yes, you have the knowledge of those specific projects you have already mentioned in your CV, you're very good to go. You're very good to go, I'm telling you. Okay, so it's like that. Now, these are the applications. When I say I'm a data science professional, so that means I can design the solution based on these applications. You can note down these applications. If you have a knowledge of these, you are very much ahead with your peer network. Recommendation systems. Okay, you know, like in any of the website, like Amazon, Talabat, you just go on any of the website and try to click on any of the product, it starts showing you the recommendation that if you are seeing this particular product, then you might be interested in these products as well. How? This is a simple recommendation system they have implemented at the back end. Okay, they're actually receiving the data live, and you are having this specific just a second, where is my charger? Sorry, let me put my laptop on charger, please. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so this is very recommendations, suggestions, sentiment analysis, customer experience analysis, right? If you have a product and you want to just understand what are the different reviews of the product and how the sentiment is going in which direction, either it is neutral or positive or negative, so we can analyze the sentiments of that specific particular product. Predictions and forecasting system, this example I'll just show you just now. Then virtual assistants, these days this one of the chatbots, right? So these chatbots are very much in demand. So every organization, they are trying to come up with a new AI assistant. And you all must be knowing about the chat GPT, right? So chat GPT is one of the large language model which is trained on the unsupervised learning, wherein it can extract the information and give you a very structured form of information what you are looking for. So this is again a very you can say advanced technology or advanced innovation which we have seen in the AI domain, right? Then recognition. So recognition nowadays it's so much refined that you can like recognize your face plus recognize the person, recognize the iris, recognize the palm, recognize the finger, recognize a lot of different research which is going on, right? So this recognition is something which is very much evolved since last decade, I would say. Anomaly detection, like this is what where you can see if the data is following certain pattern and suddenly there is some fraudulent transaction, means there is a spike in the transaction. So in general, like accounting people use this in auditing, right? So we have a smart auditing these days. That's one of the simple example. Fraudulent transactions, money laundering. So anomaly detection is being used over there. So this is about little bit of your data science and its applications and how you can actually get into that, right? So I will show you a very simple example of the data and how we can come up with a forecasting of that specific data using the Power BI tool. Okay, so let me just share that specific screen with you. Just give me 1 minute of time. In the meantime, if you guys have any question, you can just post those questions. Okay, I'm just sharing my Power BI screen with you. In the meantime, any further more questions if you have, you can just post it on the chat or in Q&A. Yeah, Mohammed Sajid, you will be, of course, if let's say, for example, the first job that you're taking up as a data analytics, and then if you want to shift from data analytics to data science, of course, that's the journey. That's the journey. You're working as a data analyst, and then you are engaging yourself in different use cases. Either it's a personal portfolio or a project which is being assigned by any of the client, wherein you are utilizing the machine learning concepts. Then you can start applying for the data science job as well after spending good enough time. Okay, so that's the question I asked. I answered here. Now, so I would like to show you this data. If you see here the milk production, so this is a very simple data here. We have, in one column we have a month, and in another column we have a monthly milk production. So that's one of the industry wherein like the milk is getting produced, and we have a very old data and very simple data available over here. So now this is a numerical representation. So like we do it in the Excel, so we have the same representation here in the Power BI. But it's very difficult for me to understand. I can't go line by line and try to see the values here, and that's why the power of the visuals. And we all know that visual learning is far much easier and quick as compared to the numerical learning here, right? So now if I go here in the visuals and take this line chart, a simple line chart, okay, you will tell me like how much time I have taken to forecast. Okay, see this, that's a simple line chart I have taken. I'll go here, that's a month, I'm taking it in the x-axis. Okay, and I'm selecting the months over here, and then that's your y-axis, I'm putting it over here. So can you see that? That's the data. So that's a data. You can see year over year from 1962 till 1974 December, I suppose 75 December, here we have a data with us. Okay, so it's a summation of the monthly milk production. So we can see, yes, there is a visible trend here. Now I would like to forecast for another 2 years how the data, how the forecasting will be done. So that's my work, to build a forecaster for another 2 years, and it's a matter of only 30 seconds. Let's see how. For example, you will go over here. That's add further analysis to your visual. See, the work of the data analyst is till this point. Whatever data that you have, somebody I think have just asked the question here, data science and data analyst. So this is Nitin, this is for you. Whatever data I was having in my Excel, I loaded in BI tool and then visualized it over here using one of the visual of your BI tool. This till this point we have a work of the data analyst. You can have multiple visuals to create a full dashboard. Okay, but we are not going beyond that. But when we say beyond that, that means now we are trying to utilize the one of the machine learning algorithm to do the forecasting. So that's a work of the data science professional. Means data science is this and data analyst is this part. Okay, and then you have to complete multiple ladders to become a data science professional. I think you understood, right? Now let me show you. If I click over here, can you see this trend line? If I just click over here in the trend line, you see this one. So you can see a visible uptrend. So that's one of the very important aspect wherein we can see, yes, there is a visible trend in the data. So I can apply the forecaster. It will give me a good results. There are two things in the forecaster. One is the trend and another one is the seasonality. Seasonality means the periodicity in the data. Is the data repeating itself after every fixed interval of time? If yes, yes, you can apply the forecaster. If no, then you cannot apply the forecaster because you cannot rely on the result whichever you get. Okay, so it's all it's very important for you to understand this thing. Okay, shall I repeat this chart? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to repeat this chart so that everyone will see it one more time. So I'm just removing it. Let me remove this. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this line chart. Please just see it one more time. I'm just taking this line chart. Okay, then I'm dragging this month, which is in the date format, and then I'm clicking on this down arrow and selecting this month, and then taking this summation in the y-axis. So we got this chart. Okay, month and the summation of monthly milk. Then this third option wherein I can add more further analysis to my data. I'm clicking on this, switching on the trend line and come down. Can you see this forecaster? So this is disabled right now. I just enabled the forecaster. Can you see that? It just took 30 seconds to me to come up and then forecast this 1 year. What I want to do is I want to check. So this is my forecast length. I want to forecast for 2 years, and I would like to use the last year as a training. So I'm creating ignore the last 12 samples. See this. Now, can you see this over here? This 1 year, the 75, 1975, I just removed. So till 1974 December, it was my training data. Okay. And on the basis of that, 1975 is predicted, or rather forecasted. And the actual data we were having in the blue, right? And due to that, you can see it's almost overlap. That means almost equivalent, right? So that's where the strong forecaster we already have in these BI tools. So you're not supposed to write the code for it. You can easily have it by just simply clicking on it. That is what I was explaining you. If you want to build these models, you're not supposed to be a very programming ninja. No, but you need to have a concept. Okay, so you need to understand what are these things: for forecast length, ignore last, seasonality, confidence level. So meaning of these things has to be very clear in your mind, so that you need to know where to change and how to achieve the better results. That's the understanding is required. You can see how much time I took to do the forecasting. Less than 1 minute, 30 seconds. So that's important stuff. You can build any machine learning model in this tool. It is very intelligent, but we actually don't know. We are limited to only just visualizing. Most of the people I talk, they only understand the Power BI as just the visualization tool. No, it can do a lot of things, but actually just we don't know it. That's the only matter. Okay, so this was one of the activity I was just trying to show you, wherein I was explaining you multiple options. For example, let me reshare my screen. This one. These are the multiple applications. Any application you can build using Power BI. You might not be requiring writing a single line of a script, but it's like how to do it. That's very important part. Okay, so it is like this. Okay, now. So guys, this was the thing which I was supposed to tell you. Just let me know on the chat, please. Did you get a little bit of idea? Little bit of idea about what I was trying to explain you? What are the things, the data science, data analyst? Do you still have some confusion? You can just simply ask me the questions, guys. I hope I have answered all the questions, I suppose. Let me check. Okay, Sajid, thank you so much. You got the information. How will you assist your student obtaining post-course training or an internship? Okay, Sajid, here internship, yeah, post internship, it will be, see, during the curriculum delivery also, you will be having the mock interviews from the expert. I showed you the advisors, right? So those advisors, one of them will be taking your rigorous interviews, and we will be noting it down where are the lacking points, so that we can have a proper profiling, and then we will be making you prepared, so that whenever you get shortlisted, you are equipped with all the resources which is required to clear that interview. But still, we can equip you, right? We can provide you all the resources, but which particular option or which particular answer you have to address of that question, it's all on you, right? So we can make you prepare by having a one-on-one mentorship, mock interviews, preparing your resume, having your different interview sessions, so that whatever knowledge that we are delivering, we make sure that yes, you have it or not. Okay, so that is how we try to make you a kind of a professional who is that specific technology enabled. Yes, Abdul Rahman, we have the free version of the Tableau and the Power BI to practice, and this is what I just showed you. The Power BI is a free version in which I just implemented this forecasting model. Sajid, for that, our course expert, Miss Garima, will get in touch with you. She will give you all that information, and she'll share the brochure wherein like we have 12 to 13 modules You will be undergoing each and every module. Each and every module will be having the different tests and a list of the at least 40 interview questions for each and every module. So it will be a rigorous training to get you trained on that. Yes, Abdul, you're asking any question, you can just write it on the chat, please. Any more question, guys? Oh, okay. Yes, yes, of course. Abdul Rahman, for the Tableau, we have a trick. Now, shall I tell you the trick right away over here? See, we have a trick. For 14 days, we get it free. The full version, we get it free, and then we know how to trick it for another 14 days, then another 14 days, then another 14 days. So until unless you get expert, you will be having a full version of Tableau, right? No, it's not that trick, but yes, 14 days, it's a free of cost full version of the Tableau you get. Now, how to ask them? You will be replying, you will be mailing them, and they'll be giving you the another 14 days to work upon. You just need to make them understand that you're working on one particular project, and after that, you will be having a full version of it. For that matter, Power BI is completely free. Until unless you are using the Power BI app services, it's totally free. Till you are keeping it for the local system, the Tableau, the Power BI, Microsoft Power BI is completely free. And when you move towards the Power BI app service, wherein you do the sharing and all, for that it provides you 60 days free, all the pro service of Power BI. Other than these two, we have Google Data Studio. So Data Studio again have almost the pro services they provide you free of cost. And other than that, we have Data IQ. So Data IQ also provide you a good enough academic version of their specific tool. So we have two more. Okay, Abdul Rahman. So guys, I'm just sharing my LinkedIn profile with you. So if you want to just get connected with me, you're most welcome. Just give me 1 minute so that I can give you the link. I mean, if you like it, you can just connect with me. In the meantime, if you have any question, you can just simply ask. I'm there to answer. See, I love to answer the questions. Nitin, for the charges and everything, Ms. Garima will get in touch with you because this is something which I don't handle. So I won't be able to give you that pricing. Okay, so just a second. Yeah, I got this link. Let me copy this and paste it on the chat. It is already affordable, don't worry. Okay, our office, I think I showed you the office address. No? Okay, let me just show you here. That's our address, and the number, you can just simply note it down. And that's my LinkedIn profile. You can connect with me right away over there. See, Sajid, it's yes, Michael, you'll be getting the copy of the slides for sure. We'll be sending it on the WhatsApp group, so you will be getting it, no problem. And Rajib, yes, of course, if you're a fresher, you have an edge over the others. I'm telling you, freshers are really more liked in the companies right now because they know they are enthusiasts, and if they have the knowledge, they can actually come up with really innovative ideas. And Sajid, yes, we are CPT UK accredited body, so you will get the credit points of that specific certification. So when we say corporate certificate, so you will be getting more than 50 credit hours, corporate hours of that specific certification. That's one. And second, you will be getting the Metaphyser Tech Consulting certificates, wherein whatever projects you'll be working upon during the curriculum, those projects will be mentioned along with the client name. That will put a very big impact, wherein the consulting firm projects you have implemented, which will boost your profile in a very good way. Okay, so you will be having four certificates. Out of those, two certificates will be very boosting your profile in a very heavier way. But again, I'm telling you, certificates is one of the things which can get you shortlisted, and of course, Metaphyser can get you shortlisted. But are you able to reflect that specific person? It's very very important, because that is what the country is, or different particular companies are actually lagging in. They hire the people, they fire it after 3 to 4 months. Why? Because people are not able to deliver what they are being asked for. So that's very important. Okay, guys, I think that's good enough for day then. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for bearing me for another 1.5 hours. Thank you so much, guys.